Going trolling here at the Ladoga Archipelago is always a challenge because there are just so many possibilities where you can drive along here. And one possibility that really works quite well, I'm going to show you now. And in that moment, actually the next rod goes down. Very nice. So the frequency is good, I would say. So, and there is the next rod run. Yes, so the frequency is good. I'm already quite satisfied. The fish are good, so the target fish are there. That is already the most important thing. I am looking for the Ladoga Lake salmon. I've been looking for it for a long time, and as a trophy. And that's why I, of course, have to use every possible method to finally catch this fish. So, always test again and again when it is supposed to be running well. Yeah. And like I said, here at this spot, it is actually running quite well right now, and I've been testing this for a bit longer as well. Now, of course, after almost 1 hour of testing, this is what it looks like here right now. 50 minutes now here on the spot. So it really looks quite good, and I'm already extremely satisfied. But the big question is, of course, how do you get the fish even bigger? And one possibility would, of course, be to increase the hook size. And the player Schwimmbadtechnik Röhrig said, Alan, try it out here. On the 27 it runs really well. He was almost 5 hours or what? No, 4 hours, 60 salmon. Well, is that true? So, I have to say with 39 fish in 50 minutes, I am already doing quite well here. And also clearly more of the salmon. However, I have changed a few things. So a very important point, and I also saw that in his post on Discord, link to our Discord is directly under the video. Very important for Ladoga Lake salmon fishing. Go in fine with the setup. Of course, here at the Ladoga Archipelago, you fish the safest when you are using a fluorocarbon leader with more than 35 kilograms. So more than 35 kilograms. The most relaxed you are here, of course, with 55 kilograms fluorocarbon, because there are also super trophy pike here. So you definitely have the chance that a 20 kilogram pike bites, and that could, of course, bite through a 30 kilogram fluorocarbon relatively easily. And with a 55 kilogram fluorocarbon, the chance is already relatively low that it will still bite through. But the disadvantage is the Ladoga salmon is, well, a bit too shy for that. That in turn means if you go super thick with the leader material, you simply catch fewer of the Ladoga salmon. Of course, a trophy can also bite there, but like I said, the probability is significantly lower. And we actually figured that out years ago, when at the Volkhov, there was still regular Ladoga salmon, and there were already consistent results showing that players with 30 kilograms plus leader material caught significantly worse than players with 27.7 kilogram leader material. So fluorocarbon 27.7 kilograms. And that then, like I said, for normal fishing for this salmon. And accordingly, I also built the entire setup here like that right now. I have here from the Christmas market 500 meters of line completely spooled onto the reel, 27.7 kilogram fluorocarbon leader, and then here with the snatcher number 5. Yeah, and the most important thing, of course, I am now driving here as announced or as also shown in Discord along this 27 line up here, either up to here and then make the turn here, or diagonally down like right now, and then at some point the wall comes here, just like in this area as well. So when I am at 41, then I turn here once, quickly back at full speed, then back into trolling gear, and then simply drive across here once. Correct the direction once, and go back here again. Then turn again, correct the direction once, and then drive straight back here again. Yeah, the boat ticket is about to end now. That means I should, in that moment, best already pull the rods back in. So you have to take them into your hand, because if they are still hanging here in the boat or in the holders, then you just cannot access them anymore. And then the rods lie there on the ground. You cannot reach them. You would have to buy a new ticket here. And the tickets here at Ladoga Lake, they are quite expensive. So 100 silver for one ticket. That means these 100 silver, I of course have to subtract from the total result. But let's take another look. So this is what it looks like here. Zander also comes in from time to time. Always gladly take the Zander as well, because the Zander is of course also worth it in silver. So no problem with the Zander at all. Nevertheless, I was of course looking for the Ladoga Salmon here, and I still have to experiment a bit more. I think I will go out again right away and test it again. However, then again, with bigger hooks. We have the possibility on the snatcher to attach 2/0 hooks. That's what it looks like right now. I first only used the 1/0 hook. The post in Discord, however, already shows the 2/0 hook, and I think that might actually not be so bad. So, with this result, you can go a bit bigger again. Here is the snatcher. I'll take the series from back here now. There are still some original hooks on it. And then we take the 2/0 hook here. And with that, the whole thing becomes one size bigger again. So, 2/0 hooks. That is, however, already the maximum hook size that we can use here. And because that is the case, I also thought to myself whether there might not be other lures. And that's of course what needs to be tested now. So try it out. Which lure is similar in color, is ideally also similar in diving depth, and of course also in this elongated shape. These are always the important components that we have to know and that we could then replicate again when we use other lures. And if we maybe find a slightly bigger lure here, on which possibly even 4/0 hooks could be mounted, then that would be an ideal possibility to maybe have a better chance for a trophy. So this is the current lure, and with that it already worked really well. And the whole thing, as I said, just like shown before, on 27.7 kilogram fluorocarbon. Important, you of course have a certain chance with this leader that a pike comes in and bites the whole thing off. But then that is already a big fat pike trophy that bites through your leader. And the probability of just casually catching a pike trophy is of course not that high. So you can definitely take a bit of risk so that you catch more of these salmon again, because overall I had 2 pike within this 1 hour, and that is of course really not that much. These are all the Ladoga Salmon. That already looks really good. And then there was also a small Repus here, a few lake trout, and also Zander. That is of course really nice. And overall, we will of course quickly check the cafe again. Maybe we have a cafe order here. That would not be so bad. And then of course we check what the whole thing also brought in silver. 100 silver boat ticket cost. We always have to subtract that. Small perch were also 2 included, but undersized. I threw them straight back in. So you don't really need those. Large lake trout is also not there. Yeah, so nothing in the cafe. That means we now of course quickly check the fish market. By the way, it is best to shop somewhere else first, because the tackle shop here at the Ladoga Archipelago is often sold out. So it is best to shop at Volkov if you want hooks, if you want the snatchers, and it is best to take 2 or 3 snatchers as backup, or a similar suitable lure. Maybe you can think of a lure right away. I will first have to check through the lures, which wobbler still looks similar to the snatcher, with a similar diving depth, but that is a bit bigger. So that would of course be interesting. If anyone has an idea, feel free to write it in. So now we check again quickly. Within this 1 hour, well, we are at 430 silver, minus 100 silver boat cost. So 330 silver is quite okay. So you can definitely do that with the probability that a salmon comes in here. Ideally, of course, as a trophy, that is maybe not so bad at all. What is of course still important now, test different weather conditions when it bites best. And there were already some results, and that is in cloudy weather, it was often the case that the Atlantic salmon was biting. We do not want that in this case, especially not on 27 kilogram leader material. And during the last testing at Ladoga Lake, I had the best results in slightly cloudy weather. That means I now still have 2 hours of time, so I can do something else for a bit, and then later I will test again for 2 hours to see if under these weather conditions I get significantly better results for the Ladoga salmon. Yeah, that is how it looks. Go for the Ladoga salmon here. Thanks again to Rurik for sharing the spot. If this helped you, leave a like, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and we will see each other in the next video. Until then, tight lines.